Aloha everyone, this is Leimomi Keliikuli, Intuitive Soul Line Mindset Coach here. I'm so excited to do our next series of my Leimomi interview series. And so we have Sue here, who is amazing at manifesting, right? And also helping with mindset and business coaching and helping her clients and students to get to create their own dream life. So today that's what we're going to talk about. It's about manifesting your dream life. So why don't you share with us a little bit more about, you and your business, what you do. How did you really become a master genius at what you do?
Hi everyone, or should I say aloha?
Yeah.
So hi, I'm Sue. I won't say I'm a genius, but I am pretty good in what I do.
I think you're a genius.
And I'm still perfecting my mastery of whatever I'm good in doing, because the sky is the limit. Even the sky is not the limit. So I love marketing. I love to talk. I love to connect. I love to promote. And I have been promoting a lot of people pro bono until somebody told me that, hey, you're really good in this. Why don't you teach others how to do this? So I said, okay, fine. And that got me thinking. And of course, for my income, I am a consultant where I actually charge. Okay, that's how you pay the bills. And of course, as we go along, I also dabble in retail. I also dabble in beauty and wellness. I had a salon at one time with the massage and facial and all that with a partner. And I also dabble in a lot of things, and it actually enriched my experience. And after experiencing all this, it came to a point that I have uncovered that there is a similarity among all the businesses, which is marketing. Okay, you can be good in your trade, you can have any kind of business you want, but if you don't have a customer, or you don't have customers coming in, you don't have money rolling in, then you will go out of business. So that is how I branded myself as a marketing guru, master genius marketing guru, or however you want to call that. And then how did I become a coach is because I started to get invitation to teach and to speak on what I do, and members of the audience would walk up to me and say that they're very inspired and can I teach them one-on-one. So I was like, why not? I would love to connect and meet with people and help them out if I can. And in this case, they're willing to pay me. So why not? So I say yes first. And then from one client, it grew to more and more and more. And from one country, it grew to like multiple countries now. So I guess I'm just good in promoting, even myself. Yeah, that's how it started.
I love it. It's funny how you start with one little thing and then it ends up being something that you didn't think it would become. And then you look at, what is the common thread? And you're like, oh, it's marketing. Like, okay, cool. I must be a genius at this. Let me keep doing it and figure it out. And you figure it out and you're like, wow, that's actually really good at this. And so I guess as you grew up, right, as a child, you figured out what kind of lit you up. So how has all of this marketing and all of these things that you've done over your life, how does that play into why you're into this today? Why you're really into marketing and into coaching people in this way and teaching and speaking?
Well, as a child, my mom really loves to bring me along, and I tag along her activities because she didn't want to do it alone. So one of the things she really enjoyed doing is to do charities. So we will be involved in jumble sale, charity fairs, and then we have to do volunteering work. So we are selling the goods that are donated by people, and I became a salesperson quite early, very young, like a little girl, and you're cute and people want to sell, people want to buy from you. So you learn not to be ashamed and you just open your mouth and say, come buy my stuff, it's good, it's for charity, So I overcome my fear of being being judged, like, or like, I don't care. And I just had a mission. I want to sell this because it's for a good cause, and then we don't really think about other things, so that started very early in my life. So then as I go along, because I talk a lot, so the teacher sometimes will ask me, no, sometimes, most of the times will ask me to organize events and also to promote something, just to put everything together. So it just naturally came to me. And so I had quite a colorful childhood, I would say. I did a lot of things, including like plays, quite a stint with theater as well, and dancing and creativity and all that stuff. And also we did a lot of projects as well, and met with celebrity as well. Like celebrity will come for free to our events and all that. So it's like naturally attracting all these vibrations. So I truly believe that it's no coincidence that the path was set out that way. Yeah, now that you ask me about it, I reflect back. It's like, it makes sense. Yeah.
That's really cool. So like you just really started by just like sharing it, right? You're like, hey, like come buy my stuff because this is good for, for this charity and for these type of people. And like you maybe didn't have any idea about logistics or anything, but you just had this very playful energy to go like, hey, look at what this is. What do you think about it? Would you like to buy it from me? And I think that's actually what marketing is about, right? It's like
But
sharing something that is meaningful, that has something that you really enjoy, that you like, or that you want to share in the world, right? And when we see it from their perspective, it's never salesy. It's never like, like you have to buy this thing. But like, hey, like check this out. You like this or not? That's cool. If you don't like it, then don't buy it.
I think it's a very good analogy as well, because when people are at a charity fair, they already bought the coupons and they already want to spend the money. So it's the same with the whole world, actually, globally. People already have the money, they just don't know what to buy. So when you are putting yourself out there online, offline, or wherever, to the whole world, even in your local shop, you are already putting yourself out there, and people have money. You just have to convince them to part with their money, like out of their own willingness, of course. So without being too salesy. And yeah, so I guess it's fun. You make it fun and you don't feel like it's a chore. Then the whole experience would be very lighthearted, like just fun.
So, like, coming back to our topic, when you talk about manifesting your dream life, like, do you feel like that's as well, like, how that fits into marketing and sales? Like, is that associated with each other in any way?
Yes. Because I believe in, like, when you want something, you want to manifest something, you need to tell people you want it. Like you advertise, you tell people, hey, I have this requirement, so you have to market that out, and then we'll see if anyone can meet that requirement. So like same goes to manifesting. You have to put out that intention, that energy out, and then people will like answer to your ad. like hey, I have something, do you want it? So you would choose whether or not you want it, right? So I guess in a way that it's like it just came naturally to me. I don't have a time when I look back and I did not get what I want. I can be quite ruthless. Yeah, and I'm happy. Just that maybe the timeline may be a little bit off. Like I want to be a mom before I'm 30, that kind of thing. But I am an mature mom, so I want to like have this exactly the same. Like I want to control every detail, but I couldn't. But I got something better. So I guess the manifestation worked out better. Yeah. So it's like a yeah. So it's like I have to follow the flow and also have control at the same time. So after a while, you just ride with it. It's fun. Ride the wave.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, when you feel in misalignment as well, like you manifest what you don't want, right? I
Oh
go through the
yeah.
process of going like, oh my God, what did I just manifested here?
Yes, of course. When I feel misaligned, right, there are many moments, down moments in my business where I felt really like maybe this is not what I want to do. And after I graduated, I actually took on the first job and all that. I was an employee. I started off as an employee, and my business was on the side. Then when I finally gave up my full-time job to go full-time into business, it was okay for a while. But of course, there are down moments as well when the cash flow is really low, and then you hit rock bottom. So I want to share one story that at that time I had a team of staff, and then we were doing well, but then it's because of the pay. We got like suppliers and clients who are very bad paymasters. So because you cannot recover the cash, so the business needs cash to operate, and I have to dig in deep to my savings to ensure that the staff members get paid so that they can support their family, and to the extent that I get paid very, very little, like very, very little, just enough, barely enough. So at that time, I really thought of like giving up, you know, and then I just like, it's not the human resource problem, and it's not my problem, but it is maybe the nature of the business. So I made a few tweaks, and then it just didn't work out. So in the end, after like nearly a year of bleeding, I decided enough is enough. It's one of my many businesses, but I had a passion in that. So then I have to make the call. I don't want to deplete my other businesses to support this bleeding business. So I had to make the decision to let the business go, and I have to let the staff go. But before I let them go, I connected them with my network, and I bring them for interview. Like I make it like a high, like network interview with my network, and I brought her along, and she didn't know what hit her. So, so I actually marry her off to a new job, and she's still very happy there. It's been a few years, and her mom actually came to see me during her wedding and recognized me and said, "Thank you so much. You changed our lives." So I was like, "That's not too bad," So yeah, my very down moment actually was a pivotal point in her life where she met my friend, and her life changed. So I mean, of course, I felt very down at that moment, and of course, a lot of thoughts came through my mind, like the self-defeating thoughts, yeah. And now looking back, it actually made me stronger, and I know what is not aligned to me, so I know not to do it again. So yeah, it's actually a very good experience. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure like by going through that process now you know like what is not good and what is good for you. Like because there's a clear distinction like I felt in that, right? Like but
Yeah.
through that failure I actually offered something even better that changed somebody else's life. So that's awesome. Right? That's
Yeah.
like it actually became a win-win for the other people rather than maybe for you, but at least you learned the lessons from it and
Mm.
you could help the other people like move on in your team, right? Move on from where you were.
Yeah.
And it's incredible that you're able to like tap into your network and just say, hey, like, would you mind offering this person a job?
I train her up myself.
Yeah, I worked really
Yeah.
hard, but you know what, you can have her.
Yeah. But I mean, there's no guarantee that she won't come back to me. So who knows?
Right, right.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to get back into alignment, right? Like what is like the 3 steps or the things that like you went through, right, to get yourself back into alignment? So obviously you went, oh my God, like this is not what alignment looks like. And then what like took you the courage to get back up?
Well, my problem. Okay. personally, my misalignment happened because okay, that time I don't know you yet, so I did not know how to
Right.
put the terms to it.
You didn't have the words for it.
Yeah, I didn't have the words for it, so I was actually trying to take on more than I can chew. So I was like, I have 2 feet and 2 hands, but I am in like multiple projects at the same time. So I was stretching myself too thin. So what happened was like throughout the years, from like 11 different businesses, I managed to cut it down to 5. So
Wow.
that was a huge feat because you have to do it in a very legal way. And also when there are partnerships involved, it has to be very tactful and you don't have hurt feelings and you can still remain friends after that. And the final one that I want to cut off actually was just finalized like 2 months ago. So now I feel like, yay, you know, what I want now. This is all I need now. I don't need to divert my attention or stretch it over such like big pie. You know, I just need that slice, you know. So that way I can focus more on what I really want to do. Because before that it was like FOMO. Like I was so fearful of missing out. Like, I know I'm good in this. I know I'm good in this. I must do this, you know. So yes, you are good in everything, but you only have 24 hours a day like everybody else. So for me, my biggest lesson was you cannot do everything you want, but you can time it in such a way that over a period of time, you can do everything you want. So what I wanted to do was really very greedy. I wanted to do everything at once. So that was my mistake. Yeah. And also, like, just because somebody say I'm good in it and I know I'm good in it doesn't mean I have to do it. And I forgot to like take a step back and think whether or not this is really what I'm meant to do. Yes, I can do it, but is it something I'm meant to do? So I have to ask my heart, and I did not know how to communicate with my heart back then. So that's why the misalignment happened. So just because you have all the food in the buffet doesn't mean you have to eat everything, you know? So that's why you get indigestion and then you get bloated and so you feel really bad, you know? So yeah. So
Totally. And it's funny because you know how I helped you as well figure out your alignment through your soul alignment blueprints. And one of the biggest things of your blueprint is that you just like doing multiple things at once. And it's like, and you like to do it, make it fun. And it's just the way your soul is designed. But it comes to a point where you're like, holy cow, like I've got like 20 things in the air. And which one am I supposed to catch first? Because I'm like, no idea where's it going to land.
Yeah. So if I have to give 3 steps, I would say stop, think, feel.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. For people who are very fast, like I think very fast and I make decisions very fast. So, but sometimes it's too fast. So for me, my mantra will be stop, think, and feel. Because stop, then you think about it, but you need to feel it. Because when you think about it, you can have 1,001 possibilities, but the heart is the one that makes the decision at last.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That intuitive feeling that feels right. Especially when does it feel right now, or is it like 5 years or 10 years later? Right.
Yeah.
Like trusting that process that it's going to unfold the way it's supposed to as well. But yeah, I think this is why we fail a lot in our life and our business, because we're really trying to like over jump and take a step like too fast, when we actually just need to, like you said, stop, think, like feel, and think really, is that really what you truly want to create? And I think it goes back to our topic, which is like manifesting your dream life as well, right? Coming back to, hey, like this is like really truly what I want to create, because there's a shoulds that I should create this type of life, right? And I should have this type of situations, but actually you just need to be really clear on, do I really want to do this right now? Like, do I really want to create this right now?
If I share my dream when I was a little girl, then like when you are a little girl, you say you want to have like 6 children or in a big house. So I was like, you know, okay, that was then. So it didn't happen.
Right.
then if when I was in my teens, I say I want a knight in shining armor and all that. So I have to be the knight, the princess knight to go, yeah, to get my man. So it didn't happen. And then of course there is this dream. I don't know if some of you can identify with it. It's like you want to marry a rich guy and you inherit a lot of businesses to run. It didn't happen. I have to build it from scratch. but I have businesses now, and I'm very happy and very fulfilled that I started it from scratch. Yeah, so I guess the fulfillment part is manifested. And when we didn't have it at first, when we want to manifest it, we were not clear on what we really want. And actually, it's the feeling that we want, like the fulfillment. Right. So it doesn't matter what you get in the end. It like I said, it's always better than what we imagined at first. Yeah.
Totally. And that's actually what manifestation is about. Like, you can have the clear picture, and sometimes it looks exactly what it is, but then there's also the shadow side. It's the other side of it as well, what you're manifesting. And then you see the actual shadow behind it, right? Which is actually, hey, I don't need the knight in shining armor here. Like, I need to be the real goddess princess here who's marrying this guy, just like a normal everyday guy.
Yeah, like we am I supposed to talk about the blueprint as well? So yeah, so just sharing with what Leimomi and me had shared, discussed, is when she did the blueprint for me. My superpower is power. Yeah, so it's like double power. Yeah. Like really powerful. So that's why I was sharing about, like, when in my 20s, I mean my teens, I want a knight in shining armor, but in the end I was the one who stepped up and took over. And I'm like, if I did not make that decision or took that action, I would not have been with my husband now. So like, I took the horse and I galloped to him, instead of the knight coming to save you. So that's power, you take control of your life. Power. So I said, okay, that's how I landed my man. Okay. So I started to think of all the incidences in my life when I like demonstrated my power. I was like, okay, I'm pretty powerful now. I'm convinced. Yeah.
Yes. That's quite amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's like so true. Like, when you manifest, make sure you manifest from your creation, right? Like, you want to create this, not because that's what everybody said you're supposed to create, right? But hey, you gallop on your own.
If I waited for him to come in a white horse and all that, I think I would still be not married now.
Yeah. Right. So, one last thing then, before we have to go, but how do you define success? And what kind of pain did you, of course, have to endure to get to where you are now?
I would say success. Okay, success. Many people have many definitions of success. People think that if you own a Ferrari, you are successful. If you have like $1 million, you are successful. Or if you have a Swiss bank account, you are successful. Or if but for me, successful is feeling at home with yourself. Like, doesn't matter how much money you have, how many TV interviews you appear on, how many people give you likes and love, or like how many kids you have, or what other things that surrounds you that you have. I feel that being successful is to stay alive and be happy, because I see many business people who have cancer, depression, and some psychological problems that they need to resort to a lot of other things that you don't want to know. And I feel very sad. Yeah, because ultimately we only have that space in between our birth and death. So a successful life is how you make that space, how you make full use of that space. So if you have a business, be a good boss. when you employ people. If you have money, extra money, spend on yourself, and after that you spend any way you want it and not save it up until you die. You can't bring it with you. And there are so many people who run themselves to the ground because they don't take care of themselves, men and women alike,
Right.
And also, one more thing I have noticed is people become so desensitized. They are so desensitized because there's just too much stimulation on social media and all that. They don't feel compassion anymore. Like you see somebody getting robbed or murdered or something happening at the other end of the world, and then you're like, oh, that's so sad, and you forget about it. But what can you do? What do we have to help them? So success to me is not only about yourself, but also the impact you make to just one other living soul. Because with every one soul you impact, the ripple effect will affect the whole world. So that is me, okay, which is like totally very different from a typical success definition of a businesswoman. And of course, if I want to go that way, I would say, oh, I'm very successful. I have 2 kids, 1 boy, 1 girl, a pair. That's perfect. And also, I am still married, despite so many divorces happening in the world. And I'm still proudly married, and I want to be married, not because I'm forced to. So, and then I have a house over my head. I have money in the bank. And I'm very grateful for that. But for me, that's not success. I'm just grateful for that. That's my blessings. So for me to be successful is to impact another life, and no regrets at the end of your life.
I love that. Yeah, we don't realize that just helping that one extra person, not even if you can't do a lot of people, just that one compassionate connection, that you could help somebody, even if it's just a small thing, is all that really matters. And we think success looks like all these flashy things, but actually it's so much more deeper, and it's our own definition, and it's our own unique experience in our own path, right? That we can never judge accordingly, right?
Yeah.
Like your
I like
level.
to add one more thing. Is when you do business, if you just do it for the money and not because you want to make an impact or like to help someone or to solve a problem, and you just do it because I want the money, then it won't last long. That's my experience. I learned it the hard way. So you have to do it because you want to give, you want to share, you want to make an impact, you want to really solve the problem for the people who adopt your solutions, whatever product or services you sell. So that is the one thing that I can share. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having time with us and sharing your stories and your funny energy, which I love. Miss Power Haldarian here. So is there any way that everyone here listening in can reach out to you, or anything else you want to share with us?
Okay. You just have to know my name, Sue Tiong, and you can Google me. And I am offering a freebie to everyone who's watching this. I don't think there's an expiry date to it, as long as my link is still up live.
Right.
So the link get in the comments. And you can hook up with me, fill up the form, tell me what you need from me, and I'll see if I can answer your advertisement. Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you everyone for listening in and continuing following me through my soul alignment process as well. And we'll be continuing my LeimomiTV interview series, which is mastering your superpower and sharing amazing 6-figure, 7-figure entrepreneurs who are just making an impact and sharing their genius out in the world. And this is why I do this every 2 weeks or so and share everybody's stories. So you can go to my YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't, and you can visit my website as well. It's www.leimomikeliikuli.com, and you can see more of other things that I do as well. So thank you so much, Sue, and we'll see you guys all for the next episode. Aloha.
Bye.